Greetings, my friends! Hope you're all doing well. I know I am, and I'm feeling pretty pumped for this episode of Answer Me, Damn It! Where I take your questions and turn them into answers. I'm like a helpful magician. By the way, I have a handful of limited edition t-shirts that are now available in my store for those of you civilized folk who like to cover your chesticles. 2 new flavor text designs have been added to the backs of select torso chassis just this once, meaning once this batch of shirts is gone, these one-liners won't be coming back, ever. So I should warn that every person also undergoes the same 3 stages upon receiving an Awesome Sauce shirt. Stage 1, the ecstatic arrival phase. Stage 2, the sensual nipple rubbing phase. And Stage 3, the happily back to reality phase. Ladies, feel free to send me your Stage 2 pics for research. On to our first question. Travis writes, since we know that the majority of people play on 1920 by 1080 monitors, thanks to your video, in your opinion, what is the sweet spot, or perfect graphics card, if you will, for a 1920 by 1080p monitor? So I believe Travis is referring to my New Year's resolution video, where I took a survey and confirmed that a vast majority of us are still gaming at 1080. So it's really no surprise that this question would surface sooner or later, especially right after last month's release of the GTX 960, which Nvidia claimed to be the new sweet spot for gamers. And while the 960 does do a pretty good job in the 1080 arena, there is a viable alternative on Team Red when it boils down to the best bang for the buck. The Radeon R9 280X offers identical performance at a slightly higher price point than the 960, but something to consider is the 280X's 3GB frame buffer on a 384-bit interface, as compared to the 960's 2GB of VRAM on a 128-bit bus. In theory, these amped up memory specs of the 280X could better facilitate the rendering of in-game filters for added eye candy, or even take on certain games beyond 1080 if you upgrade your monitor resolution in the future. As a trade-off, you can expect the Radeon card to consume a lot more power than the 960 and produce a bit more heat while doing it. That being said, chances are you won't notice much of a difference in real-world gaming performance between a 280X and a GTX 960, so if it's too hard to decide for now, you might just be better off waiting to see what's around the corner, with the possibility of the GTX 960 starting to ship with more RAM, or the next generation of Radeon 300 series cards on the horizon. Hey Awesome Sauce, I was wondering. I have an FX 8350 5.2 GHz and an R9 290 WindForce and 8 GB of DDR3. I render to a Seagate Barracuda 1TB while my OS is on an SSD. I want to improve my render performance, but I don't know how, or what would give me the most bang for my buck. Any recommendations? Oh, and in Sony Vegas, OpenCL doesn't like to work. Alright, well first off, I'm not sure why you might be having issues with OpenCL in Vegas, because I'm pretty sure you can enable GPU acceleration in the program, assuming your video card is supported. So if your video card or GPU is supported, but it's still not playing nicely with Vegas, then I would suggest checking the Nvidia or AMD website to ensure that all of your video card drivers are up to date, as that can really make a difference in Windows between a functioning and malfunctioning card when working in tandem with a program like Vegas or Premiere. But among all the various practices of boosting your render speeds, the most effective and probably the most costly of them all is to buy a better CPU, preferably one with hyperthreading that says the word Intel on it. Do you like potatoes, Kyle? Potatoes are the most delicious vegetable in the world. Alright, they're so delicious to the point where you don't even know you're eating a vegetable after it's been transformed into heavenly fat man foods, okay? Like a baked potato, for example. If someone scarfed down a chili cheese baked potato with sour cream and little bacon bits sprinkled on top of it, and someone asked them, hey, what'd you have for dinner? No one would ever say, oh, mostly vegetables. It just wouldn't happen! What video equipment, cameras, lenses, mics, lights do you use? Now, this is a great question I've been asked several times in the past, but I'm glad I'm just answering it now, because video equipment is one of those things, at least for me, that's constantly changing in my life, okay? Like most people, I couldn't afford the best of the best from day one, so I picked a starting off point and have been making slight upgrades here and there ever since. So for most of my videos, including this one, I use a Canon 70D, along with a trio of Rokinon Cine lenses at 24, 35, and 85 millimeters. Aaron actually recommended this lens kit to me back in the day, and I'm so glad he did because they absolutely rock. Good job, Aaron. You've just earned yourself a paid internship. And the compensation is appreciation. Now, while the 3 Rokinon lenses do cover a wide range of shooting scenarios, I also have a 60mm Canon macro lens for getting them super sexy close-ups. For audio, I have been using this Tascam DR40 recorder, which is what you're hearing now, which works just fine for YouTube, and is also well suited for events when connecting a handheld mic via the recorder's XLR inputs. Lighting my shots is done with this basic lighting kit I got off of Amazon for like 120 bucks. The stands are light and wobbly as expected from a cheap setup, but they've kept up with my lighting demands for years. so I'm going to cut him some slack in this video. Now, without leaving anyone out, honorable mentions do include my Super Smooth Manfrotto 502 fluid head, Canova K2 slider, and my Sony RX100 M3 that I use for travel, marriage proposals, and other vloggy type stuff. And those are all the questions I will be answering today. Speaking of today, today's video is brought to you by lynda.com. I didn't know this, but lynda.com has weird tutorials. Like back in the day, as in last week, I thought the site was just littered with mainly technical videos, but I recently discovered that they also have a huge archive of life hacks type content, like how to ask your boss for a raise, or how to increase your odds of getting a job in the first place, you lazy bum. Plus, the videos are led by educated professionals, although if you're watching me, it's probably not really your style. But you would be amazed at what a difference the instructor makes when following an online tutorial. So check it out, it's free to try using the link right down there, somewhere. Right down there. And I think on that note, that is going to do it for now, guys. So before you go, kindly toss me a like on this video if it pleased you. Leave me another question in the comments that I might just answer on the next episode of Answer Me, Dammit! Don't forget to visit the store and bookmark my Amazon link. You can find all that stuff in the description. I'm Kyle with Awesome Sauce Network. Thank you guys for watching Answer Me, Dammit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video. Good day, sirs and ma'ams, and everything in between, I suppose.